Before we open the floor, I would request some family members may wish to say something. I think, Adisa, you want to say something?
There were two things that I really wanted to say. One was on a birthday that my dad wrote to me, and then one was just in general. Yeah. My dad wrote. Happy birthday, my dear Salisa. What a great gift can I give to the greatest gift for me. My prayers for your health and happiness are always pouring forth. My thoughts keep turning to you wherever you are, and I rest easy knowing whatever you're doing, you're giving it your best and making us proud. Your gift is you can choose to do anything and choose to be anywhere, and because of that empowerment, you choose carefully and then you respect your choices. Sorry. I love how you call me daily to ensure I'm doing well, and you have no idea how much I love all your choices. At your young age, you show more maturity and responsibility than many never do in a lifetime. And you give more love than many don't in 100 lifetimes. He was away with words, wasn't he? Rhyme. Yeah. I could sing lyrics about you, but that would be embarrassing. Yeah. I would sound silly, but because I would clash with your humanity. Since you've gone away to pursue your dreams, you've left an empty nest, perched on a big old tree in a beautiful lush forest. The same forest which still echoes with your laughter, mirth, and joy. That is why it is so lush and beautiful. My dad, the Babs. And this is one thing that I wrote for him on his birthday. Quotes for my Babs. How he feels for the family. Thank God we are all healthy, happy, and doing well, alhamdulillah, in spite of being separated. How he feels for me. I love you and think of you all the time. You are always in my prayers. I am so proud of you. How much he believes in you. With your work experience and grades, you can get into UHMBA, Master's program, or maybe even Rice University. Yeah. Yeah, Babs. And how he worries for me. This is the first time you are on your own. Do you think you can manage? I was a princess. And how much he genuinely is there for me. Everyone needs a bit of guidance. This is my father, was my father, the man willing to go the distance for the happiness of his family. Yeah. Happy birthday. Thank you.
Aziz, you want to say something?
I'd like to first of all thank Karen and the kids for bringing back. I told you earlier that I'll get it. A few days with his near and dear ones, friends, family, and seriously, Lena, lovely guys. I'd like to also thank Dede for organizing all of this. I want to thank Uncle Chacha and Neil for spending the rock. Very awkward time, not like at least. And I want to thank all of you for being here, for all those messages, all those people. These things. But above all, I want to thank Ramiz for being a part of my life. handful, that guy. He was crawling around in his nappies one day, couldn't walk, and he crawled up. We used to be in the windows. There were heaters on. I mean, there's this heater with this electric element, two electric elements there, aluminum reflector at the back. And of course, nothing was child safe. So this kid just crawled up this electric heater and curious little bugger. You see that element there? Just pushed his lungi and said, what's going on? And I knew that I was talking to Moise. Moise was 2 years old, I was 4 years old. And I was in water with him, that's right. So I just dashed over and he was quiet. He didn't say anything, didn't do anything. I had this very impassive expression. And then the pain hit him. But before that, I looked at the coils of that element. I'm surprised it didn't scar him for life. But he was that double guy. He was curious. He was, sometimes he was afraid, but he came and said, I don't know what else to say other than to just tell you all how grateful I am to all of you for being a part of this life and for being there for
Okay, we have a list of people who have volunteered to say a few words. My request is that they should limit themselves to 2 to 3 minutes, on the higher side 3 minutes, as low as possible, because there are about 12 people, and maybe other people might want to speak after that. So in the in the order that they have listed themselves, have a microphone? Yes.
What I want to say is, how do we celebrate? How do we celebrate and how do we take forward the memory and the work and the life of Ramiz Allawala? So I'll just come directly to the point there. Delia, thank you for organizing such a remarkable event, and I think it's the quality of the emotions and the quality of and the people who are so close to him. I think that's what matters, not the number, but I think the quality of interaction. Now, as they say that to do justice to the life of Ramiz Allawala, and that came to me at that time that, his life does not end here. Absolutely not. And how do we carry it forward beyond this? That is what I'm trying to strive. And I've talked to a few close friends over here as to what do we do about it. Well, first of all, it's very important, and that's what I want the family to understand. In the context that I think maybe you're too close to him and you've seen him in a special way that perhaps we haven't seen him, but the significance of Ramiz Allawala is far, far greater than what you can even sense. We as a and just to put it in a context, there's a very interesting book that was published very recently, about a year or two ago, and that's called The Rise and Fall of Nations. And in that book, it's in the historical context as to what defines communities and nations and makes them strong and big. It says that when you go to any nation, you go to any country, you just look at who are the rich and famous in that country and try to see how they attain that status. How are the billionaires of that particular country, how did they get there? What kind of life they've had? And very clearly the demarcation will come that there are people who make great wealths, trillions of dollars that have been amassed around the world like this. People have amassed great wealth because of their connections, because of political patronage, because of a great scourge of corruption and other things that have made this world, unfortunately, not a very livable place. But then there are also some heroes, and there are people who are the real foundations of pillars of any society, are those who build their name and their work on the developments of a different nature, who lead productive lives, and whose lives are built around developing institutions. But the heart and the core of it is people who develop people. Because the most important thing is the human resource development in any country. And that is why I feel very privileged standing here, in this building which was, the founder is Mian Abdul Ghani, another great stalwart, great Pakistani, perhaps many people don't even know about him. Now, unless we celebrate these people, we will not know, and we will not be able to capture the essence of their contribution. And we can even be guilty of having let go a great message, a great opportunity without fully having utilized it. Because there's a lot of stupid things also happening in this world. And we got to counter those kind of things. And there are many people with very small minds in very big places. And I didn't want to lighten note one of the very stories of stupidity that I see, and that tell you how important people are, the damage they are causing us. There's an interesting story, in Madame Tussauds in England, in London. There are statues of some very famous people. And Madame Tussauds, I think it was in the 80s or 70s, put up a statue there of something that we should have been very proud of Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and his sister, in a beautiful white sherwani and salwar. Now, Madame Tussauds had that there for a long time, and then what happened is that because it's a very busy place, some passerby, some visitor, soiled or threw something, and it soiled his salwar that the Qaid-e-Azam was wearing. So the management of Madame Tussauds, when they saw that such a statue and the salwar had been soiled, didn't know whom to contact. They contacted the Pakistani High Commissioner in London. Now this is something you can research, this is a historical thing. And they wrote to the Pakistan High Commissioner that, here we are, your country's founder, we want that you should replace this particular garment because we do not have any way of doing it. Now this, whoever the man was, he didn't know how to handle this. So, I'm a little digressing, but I'll tell you how it is relevant on this. He didn't know how to handle it. He writes to the High Commissioner at that time, writes to the government of Pakistan, and he says that here I am, we have got a very unusual request, can you please replace or guide me on this matter? So the Foreign Office, which is there for the purpose of introducing Pakistanis and telling us and being very proud of this, the Foreign Office, there was, unfortunately I'm saying, there was a bigger idiot sitting there. What he did, he writes, this is something so unusual, one founder of nations, so he writes a note to the President of Pakistan. And he says, what do I do with this situation? Something that he wants to do. And the President of Pakistan at that time happens to be General Zia-ul-Haq. And General Zia-ul-Haq writes on that note that, but in Islam, these things are not there. I mean, no statues are allowed in Islam. The management of Madame Tussauds was then faced with either having a stained, dirty salwar or having him without the salwar. They just removed him. And generations of Pakistanis, the generations that are living, our children, are not introduced to the world by default, by our own shortcomings. So what I'm saying is sometimes we do not realize how important these things are. And we have to introduce who Pakistan is. So here is Ramiz Allawala, is a person who travels across cultures. Karen, you bring a very special flavor in his life, your children. All the things that he said something that we are not only proud, but there's a lot of learning for our future generations, something to be proud and to carry it forward. So I think that is where I feel that we need to do something about it. We need to carry it forward. Today I asked Lady at the very late hour, I said, all the person should get is get Shameen Chinoy to this place. She should attend this, she should know it. She's an Oscar winner, she's a Pakistani, she's a well-known. She writes about things about Pakistan. Why shouldn't she celebrate Pakistan's great sons? I mean, these are the people, ordinary people doing ordinary things. It's not what they are, it's the ideas they express and the way they do it. And how much they've inspired and motivated thousands of people that perhaps they don't know. So I think that is a very important legacy and a very important responsibility for all of us to see that his legacy is, I mean, it's not an end, it is the beginning. That's what I think. Thank you.
Can I request the further assistance, my side, please? And again, we want to finish by 1:15 to do this. So,
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What a great feeling here. And Ramiz is gone, but Ramiz is very much here with us. And the people and the friends and the colleagues and the professionals who are here sharing this moment on a Sunday morning. I wasn't very sure whether we will have enough people, but it's really enhancing to see this overpacked room. Today I'm really convinced of one of the very small surahs of Quran, which says Surah Asr, which I read at times and I try and understand, and it's validating today, which is Wal Asr Innal Insana Lafi Khusr Illa Allazina Amanu wa Amilu Salihat wa Tawasaw bil Haqqi wa Tawasaw bis Sabr. Basically, it relates to the Allah promising on time. Time is something which it's a philosophy, it's a concept which eventually destroys everything. So all that we are working for, all the efforts, time, stresses we are taking in our life, we for sure that it will be gone. Our lives, our dear ones, whatever wealth, whatever money, whatever property we accumulate will go. So that was one of the things. But one amongst the four things that do not die is Amal Saleh. And today I can see Ramiz's contribution as something which has added value in the lives of so many people, which we are mortal, time has to come and we will go. And not many trainers in Pakistan are remembered so well and will be remembered so well. But this one gentleman who has created an impact, and very rightly Khalid was saying that this is something different. And this is something creating value in the lives of people, and some of the geology quotations, if you see it, they're also saying they've enlightened people's life. And people live, and then they keep on enlightening people's life based on the wisdom that has been drawn. I think I am one of the last ones who met Ramiz. A few months back, Aaron was there and I was in Minneapolis. I drove to see him. I was so happy to see him. He was full of hope and confidence. And I was just still thinking that, we all, and I told Ramiz, we all have to, leave this world at one point in time. And when we leave, there is no uncertainty about it. But what will really stay is what things we have done. And I'm so happy. After that, he wrote a note on Facebook that acknowledging my visit, and he said, I felt so happy after that. I was a little depressed today that I wanted to, I cheered up and I went for a Japanese lunch. So thank you, Karen, for taking him for that lunch. He was very happy and he shared it with the world. And just one last thing, about the caliber of this great man, a great trainer. Very few people would have attempted to give the challenge that I shared with him. When I was in Habib Bank, when he joined me, I think it was 2001 or something, and we were about to start union negotiation. So the most difficult union of Pakistan was one of those 18,000 people, violent, and the management team had senior executive vice presidents, 6, 7, 8 of us. So I was discussing, Ramiz was my intellectual, interactor. So we were talking about it, and I said, look, Ramiz, I've never dealt with this kind of people in my life. And I think it will be a good idea if we could sort of engage them. And we came up with an idea where we said we are going to organize a negotiation skills training, a joint negotiation skills training where all the management team, including all the SEVPs and the union leaders, including the general secretaries and the president, we will sit together for 2 days with you. And you come and train us on negotiating skill. You come and train us on what is win-win situation. What is the win-win? And this was the big challenge because, as trainers we know when we are dealing with the participants, you have to pitch your presentation according to the participants. And these are two diverse set of participants. One sitting here thinking that we have to crush the union, we have to get the hell out of this management team. And Ramiz did what a fabulous job. Thank you, Ramiz. You created that tradition where we sat together as participants together on the same table and we interacted and we discussed. And end of that, Ramiz, it was only you who could have made this possible. We had a very seamless negotiation at Heavy Bank's history. And that's just, I wanted to share your caliber. I really am grateful to, actually, on behalf of Pakistan Society for Training and Development, I would like to welcome. Some of you are familiar, but I heard some were finding ways. This is a place which is a not-for-profit organization created by Mia Ghani that you referred, sir. And this is a great learning institution now. It's a not-for-profit. And one of the benefits of this place is that it provides us a very complimentary forum, a place where we all can meet with no agenda except our own. So thank you all everyone for attending, and thank you Ramiz for getting us all here. Wish you were there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I'll request Shireen Naqvi.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you for this. 3 words that I can sum up Ramiz in is, one is aha. Thank you. The other is fear. And the third is azmat. So when I first saw Ramiz at a TRG session, Train and Resource Group, I said, aha, aha. So that's what life's all about. He started making sense out of all the dashes and dots that I was not familiar with, and he gave me language to think, to feel, to share, to talk, to express. I'm very grateful to him for that, and that's what I still do. I'm still running his courses with the company that he was created, designed, and initiated, and I have the privilege of doing that. I think I can't even manage an iota of what he does, but I have the privilege of. The second word is fear. Yes, I feared him. I was scared. Whenever I saw him, I didn't know where to look, how to react, because then comes in the third word, because he was so azim. Like you respect so much your parents, you respect you fear that you'll hurt them. So I had that kind of but why was the azmat so great? Because when I met him at the airport or in a plane, and I used to greet him with great fear, he's got every right to ignore me and say, give on it. But he would turn around and with his voice, with his beautiful hypnotic voice, and his charming eyes and smile, he would embrace. And I would feel, ye itna azim shakhs mujhe kaise mil sakta hai is tarah? But that's how he was. He did that with everyone. It was, I think, the epitome of self-fulfillment. He just lived what he was supposed to be. And I, from his side, bring the message to you. Please find out who you are and live who you want to be. Because that's what Ramiz taught us. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Next on my list is Param Kawaja. Why were you expecting the
later part of his life? I'm going to talk about when I think of Ramiz. I think about my early days of our life. We were always living in the shadows of our elder brother. So we are all. So it's just like a brotherhood. And so when you're young, you're wild, and so what you do is you don't have much work, so you play harder. You know. So as they say, work hard but play harder. So we played harder, and we took the most hardest game to play. We scuba dived, and he went for swimming. And we picked up rugby, and we were all a bunch of wild guys playing rugby. And so we played harder, the hardest game you can think of. And but we never left it. So we always had it, and we went on achieving a lot of in that sport. We formed a rugby union, which Pakistan Rugby Union made it, and finally in 2015 we got recognition at world level, and my eldest brother Fauzi and Aziz, we all, it was like a family. So we were not friends but brothers. And I just want to read out something. When after the recognition in 2015 at the World Rugby Awards, my brother went to receive the character award for rugby, and that's like FIFA giving an award to somebody. So it's a World Rugby gave an award. So when I put that on the Facebook, and what Ramiz wrote, so I just want to share that with you. It may be something to appeal to you on what he thought about playing and how he grew up. So there we go. Yeah, this is Ramiz, okay? One man stands out above many great mentors who shaped my life, has finally been recognized for his leadership. Fauzi, that's my brother also, and he didn't name you Aziz. Led him from the front, whether in rowing, rugby, academics or partying. His ethics and code of conduct about hard work, fairness, honesty and simplicity of words shaped my teenage years and beyond. For years I modeled myself after him and followed his every move and off the playing fields. In turn, he took me under his wings and offered protection and guidance through those turbulent teenage years. And yes, very important, his Playboy collection gave me literary start. And post-game rugby parties initiated me male bonding seldom seen in any other sport. Thank you.
Mr. Safral Rahman, please.
That, so I won't say that much about Ramiz and our relationship. A couple of our class fellows are here. I can see them. Just want to relate two personal anecdotes. They go back a long time, one of them, which I guess some of you won't know or remember. Well, won't know. This is going back 51 years, class 3, grammar school. And Ramiz wasn't very good in his studies in junior school. I have to mark on that. He was just too carefree. So I remember this remark of his. He said, you guys who are doing well in your studies, when I grow up, I'm going to run a business and you're going to work for me. Fortunately, I didn't have to work for him. Back in 2004, I was regional head for Pepsi, and I was going through some principal issues. Karen knows about that. I think we spoke about it. And to the senior position, I felt I should walk out of it. And one of two advisors who helped me sort out my mind at that time, Ramiz was one. And he encouraged me to follow my conscience. And so eventually I quit Pepsi. And at the time I thought it was a major deal, but as it turned out, Agro Foods compensated for that and really put it down to Ramiz and one discussion with Karen also about that time over a plate of biryani at the house. So those are little personal anecdotes. He's a great guy, and I don't need to tell you that. He's just been a wonderful influence on a lot of people. I wrote that blog for one simple reason. I want as many people to read it so that they know him, and I ask for prayers for him. And I'm glad to say till today 35,000 people have read that blog. So hopefully there will be 35,000 prayers for him. Thank you.
To be here amongst all. This is something that once Ramiz handed over to me and asked me to hand over to as many people as I can. We met in Movenpick once, and I asked him during the lunch break, I asked him the definition of friendship, or who is a friend. So he said, Faizan, mark my words, take it and pass it on to as many people as you can. Always remember and keep in mind, a good friend is always hard to find, but if you find someone kind and true, don't exchange the old ones by new. Thank you.
You're next on the list, but you've come up with a great eulogy, so we'll pass you. Okay? We have Ashok Kumar Sijwani.
I would like to share one of the things basically for the Guru Ramiz Allawala. We imagine how it was like and we asked him to come and join basically one of our sessions in Guwahati. Last year, January 2016, he was with us. There were a huge crowd of the young people, okay, and his session was going on, and normally it happens that we basically go according to the slots. It was around 45 minutes talk, and when this man spoke, it mesmerized each and everybody. It was a pin drop silent, nobody could move. The youth of the diverse parts of the city, like Liaris and other guys, they all were shocked to listen and it was pin drop silent. And the guy, one of my basically member, he came, sir, time ho gaya. Time is up. I said, no. Stop, go away. Again he came after 5-10 minutes. Sir, time is up. I said, no. Again he came. The time was going on, and this guru was just, he was fascinating the people. He was just, throwing the knowledge, the treasure of the knowledge there. And then third time when one of my member came, sir, time ho gaya. I said, stop the bloody watch. If you want to cancel my talk, cancel it. Stop the bloody watch. I don't want to see you come again and say to stop this man. I wish I could say this to God. Stop the bloody watch that time when he was passing on. Thank you.
We have Rufi Jamil next.
Forgive me if I sound or seem a little muddled, but that's what I am right now. Knowing Ramiz for the last 51 years, we were together in school. So many images, so many memories. I know I just have a minute, so I was just trying to consolidate what I wanted to say. And somebody talked about, I think JJ talked about Ramiz's legacy are his memories. I think, yes, but his legacy are the values that he has left with me. And that feeling is a surprise to me, because having seen Ramiz both as somebody sitting in the last row and throwing pellets at everybody, and as somebody coming first in all the swimming championships and competitions that we used to have. The legacy is his courage, his groundedness that I witnessed in the last few days that I visited him, and the smile on his face and the strength with which he would get up. I did not see him in those last days on the bed, and I'm glad for that. Every time I went to see him, he was either on a chair and he would get up to greet. And when I was leaving, I would tell him, Ramiz, please don't get up. And he'd say no. He would come to the door to see us off. So that is Ramiz, your visual. Somehow, we can't get over it. But we know you're paving the way for all of us in Jannah. Go there and we'll be joining you. God bless you.
Yeah? Just now.
He's not.
Abdul Rafi Hanafi. 2 minutes, please.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। मैं रमीज़ अल्लावाला साहब की जो सबसे अच्छी बात जो उन्होंने मुझे सिखाई और उन्होंने जो बताई वो ये शेयर करूँगा कि बेटा सुबह उठो। ये और किसी ने नहीं सिखाया कि अर्ली राइज मेक्स मैन हेल्दी वेल्दी एंड वाइज। उन्होंने मुझे ये चीज़ बताई, तुम सुबह कितने बजे उठते हो? तो मैंने बताया सर मैं तो 7:30-8 बजे उठता हूँ। और बोले नहीं 4 बजे। बोले सर ये तो बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है। मैंने बोला नहीं चलो अच्छे काम करो 4:30 बजे उठ जाएगा। थैंक यू।
Mr. Waqar.
I think we were once upon engaged on the same wavelength. When I was making this paper yesterday, in his memory, that I said celebrating Ramiz Allawala, and I also thought that I will say here that we should have a memorial lecture. Somebody talking about Ramiz, yes, but somebody like Javed Jabbar or Shamil Abed Chennai, that name also came in my mind. Also Dr. Ishrat or Javed Jabbar, whoever, or Dr. Iftikhar Salahuddin, to give something to educate people in the name of Ramiz. I wrote this here that he showed how to live and love life and how to love whom we love. And I have given these few words here which would have memories about Ramiz in your mind which will be different for everybody. He was knowledgeable, yes, a visionary, a skillful presenter, a master orator, brilliant, motivator, a mentor, gutsy and so brave as you have seen in the last 1 year, action-oriented, sharp, good-humored, smiling and humane. Love you, Ramiz. And from whatever you would write on your Facebook, there would be 300 messages immediately in an hour or so. And like you, there was somebody, a shair of yesteryears in India, who had a lot of friends. And he wrote that very famous ghazal or nazam, Insha ji, ab chalo ab pooch karo, is shahar mein ji ka lagana kya. When I read this Aziz's short message that he has passed away, I opened something which Qatil Shifai wrote in Insha ji's honor. And I think Elisa had written that when they were talking about Ramiz coming back to Karachi, he said, it is not that I love less Caesar, it is that I love Rome more.
Yes.
He came back to his Rome, his Karachi, his Silk Club. He wanted to be and depart from the company of the friends. We are there gathered in some corner. And I would just recite that. Ye kisne kaha, tum kuch karo, baatein na banao insha ji, ye शहर तुम्हारा अपना है, इसे छोड़ ना जाओ इंशा जी। जितने भी यहाँ के वासी हैं, सबके सब तुम्हें प्यार करें। क्या इन सब से मुंह फेरोगे? ये जुल्म न ढाओ इंशा जी। क्या सोच के तुमने सींची थी ये कैसर क्यारी चाहत की, तुम जिनको हंसाने आए हो उनको न रुलाओ इंशा जी। तुम लाख से आहत के हो धनी, एक बात हमारी भी मानो, कोई जाके जहां से आता नहीं उस देश न जाओ इंशा जी। बिखारते हो सोना हर्फों का, तुम चांदी जैसी जैसे कागज पर, फिर इनमें अपने जख्मों का मत जहर मिलाओ इंशा जी। एक रात तो क्या वो हश्र तलक रखेगी खुला दरवाजे को, कब लौट के तुम घर आओगे सजनी को बताओ इंशा जी। नहीं सिर्फ अजीज की बात यहाँ, कहीं कुकी है, सलमान भी है, कहीं जेजे है, वकार भी है। तुम अपने पुराने यारों को तुम अपने पुराने यारों से दामन न छड़ाओ इंशा जी। थैंक यू।
Before this is second last speaker, Kamran Ahmed Ansari.
Kamran Ahmed Ansari. I've known Ramiz since 2003. Jamil sab shayad bhul gaya honge, we met at that time as well, and quite a few other people in the hall. He was more than a trainer or a mentor or a coach. I don't think he was 1958, I think he was probably my age or something. That's how I always felt when I met him, with this big problems and questions, and with this big ones, and he always had very simple answers. He was just a key to opening something up here. He would make me think, and I've always been an optimist. I was never a pessimist, but on the few times that I was, I got out and again, just got to think in a positive way. I'm glad that I was able to meet him, because I was in the US last month, desperately trying to, spoke to him a few times, sent some messages, but just couldn't meet him. We just missed each other by a day or so. And I was so glad when I read Alina's post that he was coming here. And I was hoping again, so anyways. I think he was one of the best people and one of the best friends. Truly a very, very open-hearted gentleman and a mentor that I've ever met. I've met many trainers, I'm very close to a lot of them. But he would teach things more than the profession, more about life. And as someone just said here, that the bond with friends that you have in your own ways is there, but he taught something beyond that as well. And I'm sure, I don't know how you say khalish in English. वो खलिश हमें भी सब में रह गई होगी थोड़ी. Ramiz thought कि कुछ खलिश रह गई है, कुछ चीजें बाकी रह गई हैं. When he put up a post some time back, but I wrote back to him and I said, no, I think you are one of the few blessed people who's got time to be prepared for himself, for the next life, and for his family and friends here. Very, very lucky man. Alhamdulillah. And may Allah bless him with Jannat Firdaus. And may Allah give sabr to all of us.
Speakers will be somebody that I think is coming up in the mold of Ramiz Allawala. Umar Jalewala.
President said, I happened to know Ramiz through the Trainers Resource Group. Two instances. One, he came to the Young Leaders Conference, and so he would disagree. He'd take pangas, but in a very nice fashion. So he challenged 15 of our youngsters on stage to a push-up challenge. And on stage, the 15 youngsters, they as they started, so ek ek karke sare ke sare rukte gaye, but Ramiz went on till the time the audience understood. And he was over 50 and he beat 15 youngsters aged 18 to 24. It was brilliant. The second time I met him, I was very bothered and I was very frustrated. Why don't the trainers come together? And this gathering also, one thing that I wonder is, why does it take for a person to pass away for people to come together like this? And when they're alive, they're doing brilliant work. Why not take their workplaces when it's happening? And that's just something about us that I don't know what it is, but I try pinning it down. So I met Ramiz at Gloria. He was always very responsive. I asked him, how do we do it? So his advice, his पंगा was, तुझे किसने बेटा दिया है लोगों को मिलाने का, करने दे जो करना, you do your bit, and I think I took the advice seriously. I've had a ball of a time training the last year, and I've not bothered about bringing people together since then. His point was people come together when they're meant to come together, and you should just let it be and work on yourself more. His message to me when he was in the US, and we were all very concerned about him, and just want to read it out. Beautiful, full of hope. That's the man he was, how he embraced. So yeah, his response was, thank you so much for your wonderful words. Do not fear anything, my young friend. Go out and live. Go out and love. And then go out with honor and your head held high. Submit only to Allah. That's what he did. It's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Before we go down for a tree plantation in memory of both Mia Gandhi and Ramiz Allawala, we want to conclude this session today. I'm sure there must be a lot of people who may wish to share their thoughts. You could do that if you were to send a video clip so we can compile it along with this and form an album. But before we finish, I wanted to show a 4 minutes it's a 4 minutes video of Clay Christensen. Clay Christensen is a Mormon. He's also a very well-known author of the book that is known very much in the corporate world, The Innovator's Dilemma. But the book that really fascinated me was where he wrote a book on how will you measure your life. So in this clip, he's summarizing that, how will you measure your life, which perhaps might be
So how do you measure the success of your life? And as I mentioned, it's because we have to aggregate. We have this sense of hierarchy, wealth, and so on. But the reason I concluded that God doesn't employ accountants is he has an infinite mind. And what that means, he doesn't have to aggregate up above the level of individual people in order to have a perfect understanding of what's going on in this world. And when I realized that he doesn't have to aggregate up above the level of individuals, then I realized, oh my goodness, when I have my interview with God at the end of my life, he's not going to ask to show me how high I went in anybody's org chart, or how much money I left behind in the bank when I died. But rather he's going to say, oh, Clay, I put you in that circumstance. Now can we talk about the individual people whose lives you helped to become better people because you worked with them, or they were members of your family, or you just met them and they needed your help. And then Clay, I stuck you in this situation. Now let's talk about the individual people whose lives you blessed because you used the talents I gave you to help them. And I realized that that's the way God will measure my life, is the individual people whose lives I blessed. And I just wanted to offer that as the second takeaway from at least what Clay Christensen is thinking about. And that is, it's actually really important that you succeed at what you're succeeding at. But that isn't going to be the measure of your life. God doesn't count. He doesn't aggregate. And he's just going to assess you on the basis of how well you helped other people be better people. Well, God bless you. I hope that some of these ideas will be helpful to you and that you will be successful in the way that God will measure success. Thank you.